We put in 3 new garden beds, and we want to show you exactly how to do it, how to put the garden bed together, what to fill it with, how to build your own trellis. And here's the reason why we put these here. We wanted to create a really beautiful sweet pea barrier so that nobody could see our work zone back here. Take a look back here. This is where it's like our wheelbarrows. We have our extra bricks and wood we need to chop. There's our compost bins are back there, and we need all of that back there, but we don't want everyone, like all of our guests, to see it, because over here is our orchard, and this is where we host all sorts of stuff throughout the summer. If you've seen our freedom dinners happen right here. We have our fire pit set up here, and so this sweet pea wall, all of these little sweet peas right here, pretty soon, like they just got planted a few weeks ago, they are going to be up to the top of this trellis, and it's this beautiful, lush, vibrant color sweet pea wall, and we want to show you how you can create it too. The first thing you need to decide on is what garden beds are you going to use. We love, love, love the vego garden beds. They last forever. They're so sturdy. You can put them together all by yourself. They're easy to move. All you need in order to build them is a screwdriver. Everything else comes in the kit, but make sure that you read the directions. Oops, there's a protective coating on both sides. When you take the sheets out of the box, don't forget to take the protective coating off of both sides. One of the things that we love about the vego beds is that you can make them in pretty much any configuration that you want and any size. And the awesome thing is, one bed can actually become multiple different sizes or shapes, so you get to decide what works best in your space. Make sure that you measure your space so that you know how much you're filling, like how big do you need it to be. And before we put the beds in over here, we did a little bit of leveling to make sure that the space was ready for them. But we actually had to do more leveling once we got them all put together. And you can see pretty much the whole fam was helping out, which is awesome because it just makes it go faster. But truly, you can put them together yourself. They're super light. But if you don't want to have to carry it, build it right in place, exactly where you're going to put it. Once you have it in place, then you can level it. These beds are the 17-inch high beds, which means there's quite a bit of space to fill with dirt or soil. And I don't really want to spend all the money filling the entire thing with really good garden soil. So the very first layer that we're going to put down is actually some thinner sticks. I went and cut back our hydrangea and a couple other bushes in the yard. So this is the great thing, is that as you are ready to fill your beds, do some garden cleanup. Rake under the trees, cut back bushes, and let that be the first layers in your bed. I don't suggest doing really big branches because you don't want to have a huge branch down in the bottom, but little twigs, lots of debris basically that is around your yard is really great for the first layer. Then the next layer, I suggest doing some kind of fill dirt, or this is our compost bin that we put all of our grass clippings in, and after they sit in here for a year-ish, they are completely broken down, and they are what I would call almost complete compost. Because they don't have a whole lot of kitchen scraps or chicken manure or anything like that in it, there's typically not a whole lot of worms in this compost bin, but it's really, really good fill dirt. If you're going with a different height of a garden bed, here's the general rule of what we go by. We try to leave at least the top 18 inches of the bed for a really rich garden soil. That's where the plants are going to be planted into. That's where they're going to grow. And so that portion of the bed is for the good garden soil. If you're going with a more shallow bed and maybe you only have 12 inches to fill the whole thing thing with good garden soil so that your plants can be super happy. This lasagna style gardening that we're doing is really just to get the bottom layers boosted up so that we can fill up that top 18 inches with our good rich garden soil. Now, our compost, we do all sorts of stuff with this compost throughout the year, especially in the springtime as we go and we amend a lot of different spots in the garden. But we'll do a whole nother video about compost so that you can come behind the scenes and see how we feed it. But to fill your bed, if you have a truck or a way to get dirt from a local like topsoil supplier, we suggest that you go and get the dirt from them. Just tell them you're filling a garden bed. They'll be able to tell you the best thing to get. What we chose was a mushroom compost garden soil. And guess what? I even saw people at our local topsoil place bringing buckets and just getting bucketfuls from them. And I'm going to tell you, it is way cheaper than buying bags of soil. But do whatever is easiest. Don't make it hard on yourself. You can easily go to your local garden center and get some bags of organic garden soil.
To basically put them in the boxes. And so we just hammered these down into the ground. And then we used copper strapping to screw it to the stakes.
And so
and
they
it's
don't
a pretty
slip.
rudimentary way.
Like this doesn't slip on there?
It doesn't. It's pretty tight.
Okay.
So it doesn't slip, and it's pounded down into the ground probably two or more feet down past the box. So it's in the ground pretty good. You could go deeper or use bigger stakes, or if you had a different type of box, we use the vego ones. If you had a different type of box, like a wood box, you could fasten it to the box itself with screws. We did just a simple frame with cedar that we put a little finish on so it would help withstand the weather. But it's just a simple frame with 2x4s. We cut them to the length of our box, and we used our cedar because we wanted this to kind of match our cedar fencing that is around the rest of our property. And so we used the same cedar 2x4s and the same finish. This is just a basic fence finish from Home Depot, but you could use any kind of waterproofing if you wanted to. We used this is just a welded fencing, and we stapled it to the back of the 2x4s. Just very simple you can use any kind of fastener.
Did you have a staple gun, or what?
We had a pneumatic stapler that we used.
Okay.
But you could use a regular one, or you could use some type of screw. Or we got the fencing from Wilco, and so they have all kinds of animal fencing. This one is just a basic. I think it's 4 inches by 2 inches are the spacing on these, and then in our case this was like a 4 foot by 6 foot about. Okay, so when we made our frames, we went a little bit fancy. Instead of just screwing through the boards at an angle, we used a pocket jig, and we made these little holes here where the screw goes in at an angle into this other 2x4. And that way it just keeps it so there's no screws sticking out on the edge of the frame, and it makes it nice and solid. And it will make it last longer, because when you drill through, like say we were drilling through at an angle with this cedar, that screw starts to get wet and it will rust and rot. And so this kind of keeps it hidden, and it makes it last longer.
We know that you can build your own boxes and put them together too, especially if you get the vego. They're so easy to work with. Put all your questions below. We love your questions. It helps us know what other videos we can do. And if you planted your own sweet peas, we have another video for you that gives you the secret trick to get them to bloom twice as much.